Billy Hardy will enter the arena tonight as an 8-1 underdog, with Prince Naseem Hamed at 16-1 on with some bookmakers. Nobody giving him a serious chance, but the one person who really matters is him, and he thinks he has a big chance.
Yes, he's quietly confident. He's prepared so well for this. This is probably the biggest night of his life. He's wanted this fight for a long time. He feels he's ready, feels he can do it. He's just got to go out there and do it himself.
He's held British, Commonwealth, European championships, and he came very close to becoming a world champion when he fought one of the best fighters of recent times, Orlando Canizales, in Sunderland a few years back, and took it to a split decision. Many felt that Billy'd won it. I've heard a lot of people this week saying, oh, it's only Billy Hardy, it'll be no problem for Naz, but this is a very wily, experienced campaigner who will not be fazed one bit. He's been everywhere, done everything, and he'll have a definite game plan in mind. Whether he can make it work, of course, is another matter.
Yes, he's a good character, lots of confidence in his own ability, and he just has a knack of doing the job. He's gone out there, been written off lots of times, but he's gotten the result he needed when he needed it.
Amiable character, Billy Hardy. He's 32, but it's 32 going on 18, isn't it?
Yes, he's a very young, fun sort of character. He's a great lad, and lots of friends and great support.
And now, coming to the ring, the defending champion, Prince Naseem Hamed.
Well, the artist currently known as Prince continues to make entrances you'd normally expect from the artist formerly known as Prince. Sometimes these entrances take longer than the fights, don't they? And he says that'll be the case again tonight.
Yes, he's very confident in this fight. Some say overconfident, some say he's maybe hasn't done his work right. He says he has. He's in great shape and he's ready, and he's very confident he can get this job done very quickly indeed.
Well, whatever you think of him, he's hard to ignore.
Yes, he's very good for boxing. He's a character, but he backs it up in the ring. Just some sensational results.
His 7th successive world title fight tonight, his 14th successive championship fight, and he's won the last 13 by stoppage over the last 3 years. It's an awesome knockout record for an absolute sledgehammer puncher. Having said all that, Glenn, there are still a few floating voters, to use a topical phrase, who think he's an accident waiting to happen.
Yes, there is weaknesses, there's little chinks in his arm, and people think, one day he may just self-destruct and not do it right, and the performance will not come as he expects it to do that. It's noticeable during the big Nas entrance that Billy Hardy, a la Steve Collins, is sitting in the corner with a dressing gown over his head with his Walkman in his ears, just trying to totally distract himself from this big Nas build-up.
Yeah, but Tom Johnson did that, and look what happened to him.
I never said it worked all the time.
And here comes the famous somersault over the ropes.
Taking a while to get over the top rope, you mean?
He's thinking about it. There you go. And still trying to taunt Billy Hardy, as he's done most of the week. Look at that. Billy Hardy is 9 years older than the Prince. He's a bit taller, bang on the limit. Hardy, who had to strip naked to make the weight, but I don't think there have been any serious problems. Naseem Hamed a quarter of a pound inside. Hardy has the reach advantage. Now the significant statistic down there is at the bottom left. Look at Naseem Hamed's knockout record. 92% against 37% for Hardy. Having said all that, nobody has stopped Billy Hardy since 1991. He is durable, usually.
Yes, he is a durable character. He's a good boxer.
And there the WBO rules. 3 knockdown rule will be in effect here, and there'll be a mandatory 8 count.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the 9X Arena of Manchester, England, Mr. Frank Warren for Sports Network Europe and Sky Television in association with Adidas, ART, and the Sun newspaper present the main bout of the evening, 12 rounds of boxing for the unified IBF WBO Featherweight Championship of the World. Sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control, steward in charge, Mr. Tom Penry, MP, and the International Boxing Federation and World Boxing Organization, WBO supervisor in charge, Mr. Nick Kariasotis. Officials at ringside, timekeeper Colin Roberts. The 3 judges scoring this bout on a 10-point must system are Mr. Roy Francis of Kent, Mr. Mickey Van of Leeds, and Mr. Dave Paris of London. And when the bell rings, the man in charge of the action, your referee from Derby, England, Mr. Paul Thomas. And now for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. From Manchester, England, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing white with red stripes, weighing 9 stones. His professional record, 36 victories, 17 by knockout, with 7 defeats and 2 draws. He comes to us from Sunderland, England. Here is the European heavyweight champion and #1 ranked WBO contender in the world, the challenger, Billy Hardy. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the leopard and weighing 8 stone, 13 3/4 pounds. His professional record of perfect, 25 victories without a defeat. He has 23 KOs to his credit, and he holds 2 world titles. From Sheffield, England, the man who is now considered to be one of the best presenting the undefeated IBF WBO featherweight champion of the world, Naseem.
Well, as usual, Naz is milking every moment. And we're getting the real eyeball-to-eyeball treatment, the psychological warfare, but I don't think Hardy will be affected by any of that. He's too experienced. Not even the Naz camp followers turning up in mock big ears, Billy Hardy ears, as they were calling them at the weigh-in yesterday. Well, he predicts the fastest count of the week here. Naseem, he says it'll be over in the first round. Will he be right? Let's see. Usually he's quite cautious in the opening round, but having made that prediction, he may well decide to go for it. Now, interesting to see what Billy Hardy's strategy might be. Might he try to stay close and on top of Naseem?
Well, he had said to me when I spoke to him that he was going to try and be elusive and just not let Naz get to him. Try and play a little bit of Naz's game by just, not being there. But whether he can do it when the pressure's on, that's another thing.
The first question you have to ask with every Naseem opponent is, can they take his power? Now, Billy Hardy's on his bike. He's making the Prince come to him. Big left hand from Naseem, and Hardy took that well, or appeared to. Then another right hand has jacked him in the first round. There's that power again. And can Hardy get up from that? Yes, he can. Suddenly, when you thought he was going to stay down, it looked as if it would all be over, and it might be too. He's up at 6. The 3 knockdown rule is in effect. One more knockdown. He's stopped anyway. He said round 1. It is round 1. He's still the WBO and IBF champion. And the power is absolutely concussive. It's the kind of punching that puts opponents into a dizzy dreamland.
Yes, what can you do with power like that? He's got the hand speed, he's got the power to match, and really Billy Hardy just, he was caught by a good shot and it hurt him and he couldn't get himself back in the contest. Big, powerful punches from Hamed, and that really, to do that to a fighter, with the credentials of Billy Hardy is very good indeed.
Let me just repeat, nobody had stopped Billy Hardy since 1991. That was Orlando Canizales. And he'd only been stopped 3 times in a 14-year pro career. Only once in the last 12 years. But that's the story of Prince Naseem Hamed. Durable fighters, people who don't get stopped, are just getting blasted away.
Yes, what can you say about it? He predicted the first round. He lived up to it. He was very sharp from the off. He was looking to finish Hardy as quick as he could. He wanted to all the doubters to prove them wrong. And he really did. He did that in exceptional style, and the power is very good indeed.
26 straight wins, 24 of them have come by knockout or stoppage, including the last 14. Every world title fight has ended inside schedule.
The right hand, he just picked it right through the defense there as Hardy was moving backwards. He jumped up a couple of times, but the last time he had to be stopped. There it is, that long right hand, a little delayed effect there. You can see the grimace of pain. It was a hard shot.
People don't usually do this to Billy Hardy. Well, that time it was the left hand, and all of Sunderland's hopes were in tatters. Quite rightly, the referee stopped it the moment Hardy got up from the second knockdown. He was in no sort of condition to take anything else at all.
You can't really do anything but praise. Hardy was a good fighter, worthy of his '1 challenger, and Hamed did exactly as he said he'd do. He just walked in and caught him with good solid punches right from the off, and stopped him in a great fashion.
Well, people have questioned his motivation for this fight. They said he didn't train properly, didn't really have his mind on it, that he was seeing it as a stepping stone, that he could get caught out, but he wasn't. It was every bit as convincing as he said it would be. And poor Billy Hardy, who's waited so long for this chance, sees it all disappear. I think it lasted a bit longer than the 35 seconds that Saeed Lawal lasted in the first defence, but not much longer.
No, it wasn't. It was he really meant business right from the off. You could tell there was no feeling out. He was going for it right from the beginning. That was a superb performance from Hamed.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes at 1 minute, 33 seconds of round number 1 as referee Paul Thomas, following a second knockdown, rules the challenger unable to continue. The winner by TKO victory, and still unifying idea, WBO heavyweight champion of the world, Naseem. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause, please, for this young man who came here to challenge tonight. Let's give him a hand, Mr. Billy Hardy.
Heartbreak for Hardy. The Prince reigns on. Just to remind you, next up, the WBC World Super Middleweight title defense by Robin Reed against Henry Wharton. Let's get a word with Robin Reed as he gets ready to go.
We both credit both fighters. Greatest respect for Henry. He's a tough fight. It's a tough opponent. He's got all the makings of a cracker, I think.
That's next, but we'll all draw a breath for just a moment or two after another astonishing display of punch power. Prince Naseem Hamed is ready to talk to Ian Dodd.
Well, here is Naz. You said round 1, and you were right.
I most definitely was right. I mean, end of the day, them people backing me now and supporting for me. Respect to all the fans. Thanks a lot for turning out, because you've seen a knockout, what I said. Respect in every aspect, and peace in the Middle East. What can I say? You've seen it for yourself. I didn't mess about. There's a little bit of a scuffle the first start of the round, but that weren't much. I do truly know that he trained well hard, so I take my hat off to Billy for coming, and he made the weight and trained really hard for the fight. But as you know, I'm a legend soon to be, and you've seen it for yourself. When a man can make predictions and go out there and take his men out, that's the fight that the boxing news wanted and everybody else wanted. It was a challenge, he was #1 challenger, and the Prince took it and knocked him out in the first round.
Do you put money on these predictions? Did you back yourself to win?
I knew basically my power was too strong. I knew it was going to happen in the first round. Once I caught him with this amazing power that Allah has given me, God's gave me, it's untrue. You're going to get knocked out. Full stop. You can't test this power. You can't test a gift from God. You can never test it. All I can say is, Respect to all the Hamid family, my parents, Brendan, Frank Warren, respect to my girl Alicia, big respect to her. What can I say? Respect to Adidas. And the Prince is doing it, ready for Vasquez to bring some more belts home to Sheffield.
A lot of people in the press were saying that maybe you hadn't trained properly for this fight, and you were a bit hurt by those kind of accusations, weren't you?
I just think they're so silly just making stupid rumours up, do you know what I mean? I was well conditioned, the weight went really fine. I went for a big Italian the night before. It's a pity I couldn't have any Arabic food because I love that stuff. What can I say? I was well conditioned, I was ready for the fight. You've seen it for yourself. The perfect punches, the accuracy, the skill. It takes a bit to knock somebody out in the first round and make a prediction and do what you have to do, do you know what I mean? And I did it.
You keep saying it's a God-given talent. Is it something, though, that you've actually worked on, this power? Because, I mean, I think it's generally accepted now you're the biggest punching featherweight in the division.
I truly believe that. I know my mum, I love my mother. She's praying for me all the time. And my father, I love them both so much. And the whole of the family. I know these people are praying for me so much. I know, basically, God's in my heart, you know. I know what's happening, basically. And I know my job. I know my stuff. And when I make predictions like that, they come through.
All right, let's just bring in Frank Warren here, because what's the plot now? A lot of talk about a fight against the WBO champion Wilfredo Vasquez next. Is that going to happen?
It's either going to be Vasquez or Espinoza.
Espinoza is the WBC champion, for those who don't know.
That's right. Joe Kasumi, his manager, promoters in town. We're meeting tomorrow, and I'm quite sure that we're going to come up with another unification match. The name of the game is for Naz to become the #1 champion. No, hold the 4 belts. That's what we're working towards. And that's what we're going to deliver, or he's going to deliver.
Is it more likely to be Espinoza than Vasquez, and is it going to be in Las Vegas, as the talk was about a month ago?
You'll be the first one to know when we've signed it.
So you're not giving anything away there, but Espinoza's jumped ahead of Vasquez in the queue.
Not necessarily. You know, it's just a matter of slotting the dates in, and we've got to work a couple of things out. Once they're done, it will certainly he will be fighting for another version of the title.
Okay, well, watch this space. Thank you very much, fellas. Thank you.
13 of his 26 opponents have gone inside 2 rounds. I think the word is out around the world with the other top men that this is a destructive puncher.